Because, like, mind you, if we dated or we were talking for months, and then all of a sudden I went 5 days, 6 days, 7 days without talking to her, I can understand, like, that would be super messed up. But if we're just talking back and
let me break this down in a scenario that probably makes sense to you, because since you're a workaholic, if I hire you knowing full intentions well that I don't want to keep you as an employee, but I keep you here and let you go through the whole process, and you get to training, and then you get to your first day on the job and you do well, and I'm giving you all the acclimates and like, yeah, you're doing a good job, we love to keep you on the team, and then I fire you next week. It doesn't matter when I fired you, I told you, right?
Hey, what's poppin', YouTube? It's your boy KiteZz here. My lovely wife, it's just Alex.
What's up, peoples?
Hey, today we're checking out the exclusive interview with Devin. BM talks to him. So I guess y'all caused enough outrage towards the little situation that BM actually wanted to speak to him.
Devin returns.
Devin, you've been having a wild week. Also, people, don't be harassing these people, man. Chill out, yo.
Yeah.
All right, welcome back to BM Talks to them. So,
bro,
today
he evolves into a greater light skin every video. He just advances.
Leave that man alone, bro.
Nah, bro, he just gets stronger and stronger with the light skin power.
Aura.
BM, look, he in the business suit. This is all business BM, man. Hey, put a comment down for business BM, man.
we have Devin. He's back. He was on episode 42. Then he had a catch up, and so I wanted to bring him back on BM Talks to them to catch up from that catch up, you know, just to see where things are. So, welcome. How you feeling?
I'm good. Glad to be back. I know we didn't get a chance to, I guess, talk like last time, but yeah. Doing all right.
Right. So, my first question to you is, how was the experience on Pop the Balloon or Fine Love?
Like overall?
Yeah.
It was cool. I think it was a pretty positive experience. I'm glad I did it. Like there was no regrets or anything in regards to doing it. It was cool to see the behind the scenes and kind of how the show functions. And then yeah, like I got a match and everything, and then kind of went through the process of that. But no, it was a cool experience.
Okay. So I guess my first question to you is, why did you choose to match with Kyla on the show?
Oh yeah, you want me to be honest? Okay, so
what else you gonna be, brother?
What else? Oh my gosh, it already just started off.
Devin,
do you just lie every day that it's like you don't know when people want you to be honest or not?
Something about him feels off in this video today.
He pissing me off, man, because it's like, bro, there's no way you like. Oh, so you want me to be honest right now? Hold on, we getting bigger, Alex.
Okay. Don't shrink me down.
I was going through the process, like the first girl came out and everything, and I thought she was cute, all that, whatever. I mean, that's kind of obvious from the interaction that we had. Told her she looked good and everything. And then then Kyla came out, and mind you, like, I guess when you're in the lineup, at least for me, like my mind is just flying. I'm just thinking of like all types of things, like just trying to process everything that's happening. And then a lot of it's just me thinking like, don't say something stupid. Like, don't stutter. Don't say something stupid. Just like, do not do anything like that. There are no viral moments. I'm not trying to do that. To the point where I'm so focused on that, she comes out and I look at her and I'm like, okay, she's cute. Like, cool. And then she starts singing. And then that's what I'm thinking about. I'm just like, wow, that took a lot of courage to do and everything. And then we start going through the questions and I'm kind of like trying to figure out like, is she someone that I want to date or not? Then we go through the questions and I'm still just kind of iffy. And I'm answering the questions. And honestly, as it's going on, my answers, I'm not giving the most in-depth answers because I honestly just didn't think she would match with me. So I was like, all right, well, I'll answer the questions. I'll kind of like see where this goes.
To 44 seconds already alarm?
Because it's just like, you can try to honey these words. You could try to formulate these words. You could try to, use expressions or whatever. But at the end of the day, if you sum all these words up, is you got on the show, you didn't know if she would actually be your match or not. So you were just saying anything. You weren't keeping it 100. You was just saying anything. You were saying anything to get by. And then when you actually matched, it was like, oh, snap, I matched. So now all this stuff I said to get by, I guess I got to keep doing it. But then when the girl actually had interest in you after that date, you realize that, oh, wait, this might actually be a serious thing. And I don't want it to be a serious thing. So it's just, what? Go ahead.
No, I'm processing everything you're saying.
Oh, it's like, man.
And I'm hearing other people's answers, and I feel like they're kind of more in line with hers. So I'm just kind of holding on to my balloon. And then it got to the point, it kind of got to the end, and I still had my balloon. And I was like, I don't really have like a reason to like pop on her. Like, I don't feel like I have a legitimate reason to be like, no, this wouldn't work out. And then we ended up matching. And it was just kind of like, okay, like, let's see. To me, it was kind of like, let's see if this is something. And then, yeah, we ended up matching.
So you was attracted to her?
I thought she was cute. Like,
no.
I thought she was cute. Like, I thought she was cute enough to like see.
So is that a yes or a no? Was you attracted to her?
It's okay to say no.
I mean, if it's yes or no, I would probably lean more towards no.
Okay.
Like, she's not like, if I'm describing like my ideal woman, it's not like her for the most part. But also, like, I understand like there's more to like a relationship and everything than just like the pure.
How about we just be man enough to just say she wasn't my type and I wasted her time?
That's it.
That's all you gotta say. That's, people don't want you to sit here and defend yourself and all that. Just keep it 100.
Talking about if it's a yes or a no. There's only one answer.
Is there a fourth and fifth answer to this? It's like them surveys: strongly disagree, partially agree, neutral. It's like
I do believe somebody that you're not attracted to, you can grow attraction towards them. So yeah, because we say it all the time. But the point is, say just tell the truth. You weren't attracted to her. That's fine.
And then because you weren't attracted to her, you also didn't make the effort. Now, if you would have been not attracted to her and made wholehearted effort and it didn't work out, this is a different conversation. Yeah. But you didn't.
He had 2 reasons to pop on her off rip. Like, he felt like they didn't align with everything that the other guys were answering, and he really wasn't attracted to her. So he could have popped. He didn't have to match with her.
You wasted her time, gang.
Attraction. Like, I thought it was worth a shot. I thought she was cute. So I was like, I can see she seemed kind of sweet, and she was singing. She had some cool things about her.
Okay. Now, my next question to you is: have you ever ghosted someone before?
I mean, yeah. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'm not even gonna. I would say I'm not saying that it's right, but I would say it's not like the most uncommon thing in, I guess, like dating nowadays.
No. We're talking about you, brother. We're not talking about nobody else. This is about Devin. Devin, have you been ghosting people? Well, Tom and Jerry also ghost people. No, we're talking about you, brother.
Y'all can't blame the format of dating when y'all created the format. So it had to have been somebody or a group of people starting this trend of ghosting for it to even be something in dating.
Y'all keep it alive every time y'all do it. You're contributing to it, so you're a part of it.
It at all. But I really wouldn't consider what happened with me and her like ghosting. Like, I've had like, back and forths with somebody, and we're talking, and I'm interested in her, and then it kind of just fizzles out. And maybe you could qualify that as ghosting. And that's what I'm referring to when I say yes. Because there's never been like a situation where like things are going well, and then I just immediately just don't say anything ever to the person again.
Sir, ghosting is not exclusive to good or bad moments. Ghosting is you're in a relationship or building a relationship and you radio silent. It doesn't matter if you do it while things are good or bad. That doesn't qualify it as ghosting. It's the radio silence. You were gone for 3 days, 7 days, 10 days. It is still like, oh my gosh, bro.
Because I know people were getting on me kind of about the time it took me to respond. Even though I responded, like I don't consider that like full-fledged ghosting. I feel like everyone's kind of throwing that term around.
Ghosting.
But you know, it's up to interpretation, I guess.
Maybe.
Okay, so let's go back to the time that you took to respond, because so you said that you didn't speak to her for 3 days.
Right. So we were talking. So you know, we had our coffee date and everything. Then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we were talking back and forth. A couple voice messages throughout the day, and then and even then, like there's still time in between those messages, just because I'm typically doing something. Just between, you know, I have 3 jobs, and then I was also dealing with my rental car business. So, I mean, I stayed pretty busy. But so on Thursday, on my way to work, I sent her a voice message letting her know that, hey, this is my time of week where I get really busy. And if there was ever a time where I get irresponsive, this is that time right now. So I let her know that on Thursday on my way to work. And I think she responded like, you know, like, okay. And then I didn't get back to her the rest of Thursday or Friday. And then on Saturday, she sent me a text asking me, was everything okay? To which I immediately responded because I don't want her to be like worried or anything. And I immediately responded to that. So at that point, I still didn't ghost her. I was just not responding to her in like a timely manner.
Oh my gosh. So here's why that explanation hurts you. You established that, hey, I'm about to be in a time frame where I'm busy and I'm gone and blah, blah, blah. So if I go unresponsive, this is blah, 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 blah. You are the one that is controlling your schedule. You're setting the tone of your schedule, right? You told her this. So it now becomes in your court to initiate conversation because she doesn't know when you're going to have that free time. You have control over that. So when she responded to you and she sent you a text message Saturday, it's because, all right, it's been a period of time, you haven't responded. You're in control of that. If I tell Alex I'm about to be busy over the next 3 days, so if I don't respond to you, I'm locked in. That puts on me. Now I'm in charge of responding or creating a communication with her. So if I get free time, it's a, hey, I'm good. Hey, everything's going smooth. Hey, I'm just checking on you. I got a break. Are you straight? That responsibility falls on you because you're the one who initiated that you're going to have the time constraints. Her not hitting you up and waiting for you is what she's supposed to do. Because it's inconsiderate if she starts blowing your phone up after you just told her you're going to be busy.
Yeah.
You just told her you're going to be busy. So if she would have been calling, texting, she would have been doing something as a disservice to you because you just told her that. Mm-hmm. It's on you to respond. But why am I teaching grown men how the world works?
Okay.
It's sad.
All right, so when she reached out to you, right, you then took another 7 days.
So this, like, mind you, like in that original catch up, I approached that catch up pretty light. Like I didn't go over anything in my head. I didn't prepare for that at all. Mm-hmm. So she was kind of coming with like she took a minute to prepare, like knowing like what all the points that she wanted to hit. While I just thought it was going to be a pretty like friendly conversation. So mind you, I wasn't like prepared to go into like every single detail. Kind of
this guy's not real, bro. He can't be a real human.
So this is your chance. So
yeah, for sure. And that's why I'm like taking the time.
Yeah.
So Saturday, she sent me that text, and I immediately responded, which she kind of got mad about. Like at least in the catch up, she was like, "He immediately responded," but I'm like, "Yeah, because you seemed concerned, and I wanted to make sure you didn't think I died or anything." So I was like, "Yeah, I'm good. I just been busy. I'll respond tomorrow when I'm like settled because I work from home on Sundays." So it's like I have time. Like I can make some time to respond to you. And even then, like I'm still working, and that doesn't mean I want to take time away from whatever I'm doing to respond to a message. And then mind you, we're sending voice messages. So these messages can get pretty long. You're talking about like 2, 3, 4 minutes of just yapping. And I can like talk. So like if I'm gonna make a voice message, I need to carve out like up to 10 minutes just to like talk about things. So I was like, I'll respond tomorrow. And then I didn't respond Sunday. I ended up responding on Monday.
Okay.
And then on Monday, I sent her a message basically responding to her messages from like Wednesday, I guess, because on Thursday, maybe I didn't really respond to them, or maybe I did. I can't remember that exactly.
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. That's still 6 days. That's still 6 days.
So I responded to all the things she said before, and then I talked about all the things that had been happening between Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So I send her that message, and she responds to that without a voice message. All she responded to like minutes of me talking was, yeah, I was starting to feel some type of way. And then she said, I thought it was either something or somebody. It's like why I wasn't responding. And I looked at that and I was like, so you not going to respond to like everything that I said? Like,
Devin is
Oh.
no.
So
That was a good one.
It's not the fact. It's not the fact. So it's not the fact that she responded, right? Because she responded. Mm-hmm. You're mad that she didn't respond the way you wanted it to be responded to. You put your heartfelt into giving her a week's worth of information. You gave her a week's worth of information in one voice message, and you're mad that she didn't address every part of your voice message.
It's like when you type a whole paragraph to somebody and they respond, okay. That's how you feel. I didn't type all these dumb words. All you got to say is okay. I'm about to block you. Okay, that. Because the K and the O is in okay, and I'm about to block you.
All right.
I was just talking for quite a while. Like, I get it. You can get your point across and be like, you know, I felt some type of way. But then, like, at least respond to my messages. So when I saw that, I was like, okay, like, what do you want me to say to that? Like, we're not in a position to where, like...
What did you want her to say to that? What? Hey, so on Wednesday, I feel like what you was talking about was valid. So on Thursday, I had to go get my car detailed, and it was really expensive. And so on Friday, I went to go visit my mama, and my mama said that, like, you know, she was happy that we got a match. And on Saturday, you know, I saw a dog walk across the street, and I really liked that dog, man. He was eating a steak. And so on Sunday, I know I was supposed to text you back, but on Sunday, hey, what did you want her to read? You wanted her to respond in bullet points? So and timestamp 2 minutes and 35 seconds, you mentioned a dog walking across the street. I would like to know what type the dog is. In timestamp 5 minutes and 45 seconds, your mother. Was your mother wearing a blouse? Or what? It's like, what did you want? It's like,
I told you, you know, how my life works and like kind of how busy I am. So I'm not here. Like, it's too early for me to be trying to reassure you about anything. Like, we've been talking, like, it's too soon for me to be like, oh, no, there's no one else. There's nothing. I've just been busy. Like, I didn't feel like I was about to do all that. So I just didn't respond to that. And then at that point, I was like, okay. I was like, let me just, like, I need to let her know that I don't think this is going to go anywhere. So then, like, that would have been Monday. So then, yeah, a bunch of days went by where I was like, all right, I got to respond. Oh, I got to respond. Oh, I got to respond. till eventually I did. And then that's when I sent her the message. And then that's the one where she was, she started crying and things like that. And then in that message, still like we had only been talking for such a brief amount of time. Like we went on one coffee date, which to me is like a pre-date. If you really want to consider like a coffee date, we're just really here to get to know.
A coffee date, a pre-date for 4 hours? Who's pre-dating for 4 hours? Because I ain't never been on no date for 4 hours as a pre-date. Whatever the freak that is. The date before the actual date? It's a date.
We got categories for dating now.
It's a date.
We got pre-dates, dates, then post-dates. Then we have reunion dates. So pre-dates is the date before you go on a date. The date is the actual date. And then the post-date is the date you go on after the date. And then the reunion date is when you remember the date of the first date, so then you have another date.
It's still foolish to me because it's just like that thing that people be doing. Oh, we're going to pregame before we get to the club. We're going to drink at your place. Then we're going to go to the club and drink more. You're still drinking. What? Why you?
And then y'all drinking and driving. Y'all deserve felonies, man.
Know each other to see if anything, if we can move forward with anything prior to her leaving, as opposed to like trying to get to know each other completely through messages. Like, let me see what the face-to-face is like. So I was like, okay, like I had my reasons why I didn't think we would work out. And it took me a while to respond to her. And people, that seems to be the biggest gripe that people have, that it took me so long to respond to her. But realistically, like I am super busy, and I'm not going to say I never had time to pull out my phone and say something.
You talking about being super busy to a man that has a kid who has like 2 YouTube platforms, a Netflix deal,
and a wife,
a Fashion Nova sponsor that he constantly has to keep in tune with,
a whole production company,
a production team, staff, and a wife who has all the needs and responsibilities that you think would, like, let's keep it a stack. Dudes that are dating, you guys are not ever going to be on the equivalent of the responsibilities that comes to being a husband. And chicks that are dating, you guys are never going to be in comparison to the amount of responsibilities that a wife is going to have. You can end up having to do wifely duties and stuff like that, but there's an extra level of responsibility once you get married. And so he's dealing with it every day. You couldn't handle text messages. You think you're busier than BM is crazy.
BM has not flinched or moved this whole video.
This is Yap.
This whole video.
This is Yap.
His face is unchanged.
I can kind of do whatever I want to with my time. And if I have the little free time I have, like if I want to just do nothing at all and stare at the wall, like I feel like I have the right to do so. Not to mention, we have been talking for 4 days total. You can, if you want to count the full duration of like before, like I said, this isn't going to work out, you can. And even then it's still like a week and a half, but it was literally like 4 full days of talking. So still at that point, it's not like a priority to me to be like, hey, I don't think things are going to work, because things are going to work out.
Okay. All right. So, all right. This one I want to say, right?
Mm-hmm.
At this stage of your life, you will say that you are a man. You're not a boy no more.
No,
right?
For sure. Yeah.
Well, a man is direct.
For sure.
A man, you see me, I'm direct. I say it how it is. Ghosting someone is what boys do.
Yeah, it's fairly childish, for sure.
Right.
Fairly childish. Man, this man, bro, he is not keeping it 100, bro.
No. That's...
Killing someone is murder. Yeah, it's fairly murder. It's fairly murder. It's fairly murder.
Fairly grasp it.
So, this is how I look at it, right? You have to be direct and just be completely truthful with people, especially someone that you are potentially getting to know, you know? And I feel like if this was a woman, if a woman ghosted a man,
yeah,
then I'm pretty sure all of these, some of these men on social media, the men that's part of the social media soldiers group, the ones that fight for men's rights on the internet, these social media soldiers will come out and they start bashing women. They'll probably,
bro, they were still flaming her. I don't think.
It was still flamed.
She was the victim and she still got flamed. This glow down gold digger tried to play this young successful black man, bro. It's over, man.
Y'all different on
We start going off and saying, this is how women are. Women ghost men all the time. You see, we're tired of them. They'll come out.
Yeah.
So now, what do you social media soldiers have to say when a man does it?
Nothing.
Right, they're like on the same type of time. Like it's just,
Right.
The opposite.
So when a man does it,
They are not on the same type of time.
Are we on the same internet?
Nope. We are not.
men, you also need to call out men that also do wrong. Because she said that you was the one that was actually putting in the effort. You was initiating the conversations. You was actually putting in work for her. You were putting in work for her. The first time I called her, and the first time I called you as well, you said, hey, it's all good, like we're talking, you said to me like, yeah, you. So I feel like you're actually the ones that actually putting in the work because you're the one that was planning things. You was the one that was actually making things,
But see,
work.
like to me, I didn't do anything extraordinary. She kind of
Taking the initiative to do things is extraordinary because a lot of people don't like to.
There's so little like accountability.
Being intentional is extraordinary.
almost painted a picture that I was like, she said I was like being intentional and things like that. And I'm not going to say I wasn't being intentional, but realistically, I was like, I should try to see her before she leaves. So we grabbed coffee before she left. And it was like the fact that I checked in on her when she left, like, mind you, you were just with me. And now you just told me you're going to go drive 6 hours to get back home. Even if it was just one of my friends, if I'm like one of the last people you saw, I'm going to check in on you to make sure you get home. So I wasn't doing anything extraordinary and I wasn't saying anything that.
But that's the thing. I feel like you don't think that you was. She's thinking that because you are calling her, you are the one that's putting in the effort. She feels like, you know what? This guy cares. And you in your head, I feel like you said, you've ghosted someone before. So you've probably done this before and nobody has ever came to call you out and tell you that this is wrong. Maybe that's why you feel like you can keep on doing it and you feel like it's okay to keep doing it because in your head you think that this is right. It's okay.
Yeah, I don't want it to sound like that. Like I just
right. No, but I'm saying to you how it looks like. It looks like you're doing this and not realizing that you are hurting people and people's feelings are getting hurt. So the females, if you've ghosted females,
see his response. I already know it. You see, define hurt because I didn't physically touch anybody. Like, define hurt. Like,
right? You in your head, you're like, oh, but it doesn't even mean anything. I'm just checking in. But that checking in to them might be like, wait, he's putting in effort to speak to me in such a way that most other males don't speak to them. So,
yeah, but is the bar so low? Like, is the bar so low to where if I send you a message, and it's not like she would go times without talking to me, and then I like send.
Who bar are you referring to? You said, whose bar are you referring to? That's that low,
sir. If the bar is low, it's because you are part of the contribution to it. Because, bro, you're doing everything that people deem as the problem in dating. You're ghosting. You're giving false intentions. You're wasting people's time. It's not the bar. Why does dude, I can't stand this. When people do something wrong, why do we have to start trying to bring statistics to justify our wrong? Like, yeah, I cheated, but 85.5% of women cheat. So I guess I'm no different from the 85.5%. That's like half of the population. So if half of the population cheat, then I'm just a normal person. It's like, bro, just say you messed up. It's cool. Like,
send her another message like, hey, are you okay? She made it seem like I was doing so much more. And I can understand it can come off as like, maybe I don't realize it, but I'm pretty self-aware. And I wasn't doing anything out of the ordinary from just going back and forth and talking to somebody. Like, I swear to you, I didn't say out, like, it wasn't like, hey, I'm ready to plan the trip for you to come out here. hey, I'm ready to plan a trip for me to come to you.
But y'all did that the first date. Y'all was talking about marriage, kids, where you would want to live.
Hey, I know this is our first date. You know what would be cute baby names? Because when we have some kids, we look like we're gonna have some Tracys and some Jonathans.
Is it Tracy? No, I'm just playing. Oh, sorry.
When can I see you next? Like there was no talk of like there was no future planning. I didn't lead her on outside of anything.
Talking about kids is not future planning.
Conversation between two people
talking
that
about marriage
just
not
met
future planning
and are getting to know each other. Like,
so why didn't you express that you wasn't into her?
You mean like as soon as I knew it?
Yeah, you
when else are you, bro? When did you notice that you weren't into her like that? Was it when you were on the lineup when you were like, oh, she's cute, but I'm not really attracted to her? Or was it when you was on the coffee date and you was like, oh, she's cute, but I want to have some kids with her? Or was it when you got back home and she started texting you and was like, oh, she's cute, but I really don't want to engage in this conversation with her? When did you figure it out? When?
Ghosted. Like, this is the thing, right? Mm-hmm. I'm saying a man is direct. If you feel like it's not going anywhere, why didn't you just communicate
right off the bat? And then my answer would be, it just wasn't a priority for me. I didn't, and then listen to like this.
Wait. What wasn't a priority? So it was not a priority for you to tell someone that you're not into them?
Not after 3 days of talking. After one coffee day and a couple days of talking.
So, look at BM's face right here, bro. This is how the whole internet is looking at this situation. Look at his face.
After 3 days of talking. After one.
Hey, what are you? That's what we used to do in high school on my football team. Whenever something stupid would happen, we would all just be like, what are you?
One coffee date and a couple days of talking.
So, okay, so Devin, it's not looking good. Because if I ask you, it's not looking good, why did you come on the show?
Oh, I wanted to see, like, I thought the chances were slim that I would find somebody that, you know, I could like truly be with, but I thought it was possible. So I thought it was worth a shot.
So the person that you matched with, she was looking for real love. You wasn't, right?
See,
so now that it happened, I don't think you was looking for real love because your mentality wasn't to actually try to make something work with someone. I'm not saying you have to. Listen, Devin, you don't have to be attracted to someone. You know, you're allowed not to be attracted to someone. That's fine.
For sure. Yeah.
It becomes an issue when you're not able to communicate that with somebody. Because over there, she's thinking, yeah, this is all good. You know, like he's intentional. He's actually putting in effort. So she's feeling like something is happening here. While you over there, you're like, oh, nothing's happening. I'm just checking in. We're just talking like normal. There's nothing going on. But in her mind, she was like, I came on the show to actually find someone. And she feels like she found someone.
Right.
So she was actually taking it serious in a sense. And you know, sometimes like there's a time to have fun. Me, when it's time for fun, I will be the funnest person.
Sure.
You know, when it comes to being funny, I'll be funny. But when it's time to be serious, I'm serious. And this is the time where you needed to be serious and communicate with her and tell her exactly how it is. Because that is actually leading a woman on. Now, I will say this, right? I think she did move fast as well. I think she should have took her time, right? Yep. Because when you said to her that your ex was just something to do, she should have thought about that statement and be like, wait, let me take my time because maybe he might do the same.
What did I tell her?
See, you don't even remember what you said, bro. And I do agree with BM on that one. That and him saying that he
believed in himself.
Yes.
He believed in himself. Yes. He don't believe in God. At that point, as a Christian woman, you should have been bounced. But we said that in the catch-up.
Yeah,
that was her flaw.
Yeah, the discernment should have kicked in and just should have been like, nah.
And that's the thing I don't think Devin's getting. Nobody's saying that it was 1,000% all you.
Yeah.
But the problem is, she called out what she did wrong. And my thing is the internet ate her up. But you're the one that's on the thing where it's time to call out what you're doing wrong. You're raising the flag saying like, no, I have to defend myself. This isn't true. It's like
accountability is your kryptonite or something.
You said that your ex was just something to do.
Oh, I know. She said that. I didn't tell her that.
Well, where'd she get it from? How would she know that? Oh, hi.
Devin, you. So we just supposed to believe after all this time that you just said that you weren't being honest, you weren't fully telling the truth. You were just saying things. You couldn't find reasons to reject her. All this other stuff. I wasn't being intentional. So you weren't, after all this time that we've been basically seen 2 interviews of you basically saying, like, to summarize it, you don't keep it 100 with people. We supposed to just suddenly believe that she just suddenly is just making stuff up out of nowhere now. Now, if she pull out the receipts and slap it on the internet, are you going to own up to it? That's my question. This is just sad, bro. It's not we. I'm not claiming this.
What I said about my ex was, I was telling her that it was me and my ex, like, it was hard to break things off because we worked together. So it was almost like it was difficult to end things off even when I felt like things were over because we still worked together. And I was like, it was almost like the convenience of.
Devin mentioned that his last ex from 2023 was just something to do at 35 minutes and 09 seconds. He said that she was convenient, which is why their relationship lasted as long as it did.
Y'all better stop lying because
the AI be
snitching.
Wait. Hold on. Let's go. Let's do it. Let's take it there. Let's see.
Shout out Godwin.
Shout out Godwin, man. Let's see.
Was just something to do, because when we talked about exes, and he expressed that his last ex in 2023 was just something to do for him. And, she was just convenient. So that's why it lasted as long as it did. So I figure if he could do that in a relationship, in a real relationship.
Now, if she's lying on you, and this is a complete lie, you had ample time
to correct her.
But did you?
Relationship with someone, then who am I? Like, cool.
Then you nod your head. Look, this is a head nod movement. It's micro movement.
In a real relationship with someone, then who am I? Like, who am I?
You could have said, hold on, let me clarify this. You don't wait an entire week to be like, oh yeah, she made that up. She made it up in front of you and you didn't catch it. If somebody lie on me in front of me, I'm going to be like, hey gang, hold on. I ain't say that. You didn't say nothing.
Us being together, it made it too difficult. Like, it made it more difficult than like somebody that I don't see. And yeah, she threw that out there, like, as if.
So is it hard for you to tell a woman that you're not feeling them? Is it hard?
I mean, yeah, part of me never wants to like hurt somebody's feelings. Like, I'm trying to be considerate of their feelings, right. And I'm trying to figure out the best way to end things. But no, I literally did. I tried to end things with my ex, right. And they kind of continued, not to the point where we were still like, I'm not going to say exclusively together because I wasn't like sleeping with anybody else, but it was just hard to kind of get away from that with the dynamics of, the fact that we did work together and the proximity of everything.
That's the whole point of being a man, being able to communicate and tell people exactly what it is. Because by you not saying these things, you're actually hurting them more than you think.
Oh, for sure. And I learned something from that. Like, I learned because I told her that I didn't think things would work out. And then she would hit me back. And then we would just kind of continue what was happening. And then only after that was I like, okay, no, I should have told her no. And then just kind of let her be.
Right.
I saw how it affected her and how she kept getting like hurt over and over again. Right. And in my head, I'm like, but I told you. But at the same time, I was like,
yeah,
oh no.
But I told you, but I'm still going to take advantage of the fact that even though I told you no, you still want to keep trying. So I'm going to keep getting the benefits out of what's going on.
Ooh, no.
And then when I get tired of getting the benefits out of what's going on, I'm going to tell you no again. But if you come back, I'm not going to stop you from coming back because I can still get some benefit out of this. But then once I get tired of you again, I'm going to remind you that I didn't want you to begin with. Even though it's probably going to be after, hey, make sure you get your clothes out of my house after we do what we do this night. And don't be posting other dudes or don't be talking to other dudes or don't do none of that. But like, when I'm tired of you, I'm tired of you. But you can come back when I don't feel like I'm tired of you. It's that's manipulation, bro.
Okay, no, that was on me. I should have told her that, I should have just broke things off completely. Just, let that be.
It's kind of like the same situation here. Even though this was quick, it was, you lot just spoke for a short amount of time. Some people, they catch feelings very quick. Some people it takes them time. This situation, she caught feelings very quickly. Now, I also feel like when you said that you don't believe in God, I feel like she should have stopped and actually, she should have been like, you know what, let me take this, let me go slow, because she doesn't know if you will change your mind one day. And That's a big thing. Religion is a big thing.
For sure.
You feel me? So I feel like, yeah, things did move fast. But at the same time, you did not communicate with her exactly what it was. So that's where the problem lies.
So the biggest thing is the fact that how long it took me, because it wasn't that I never told her, because eventually I did. The problem is with how long it took me. But it took me so long because I didn't think it was that significant that early on to where like I had to be so quick with it. Because like, mind you, if we dated or we were talking for months and then all of a sudden I went 5 days, 6 days, 7 days without talking to her, I can understand like that would be super messed up. But if we're just talking back and
let me break this down in a scenario that probably makes sense to you, because since you're a workaholic, if I hire you knowing full intentions well that I don't want to keep you as an employee, but I keep you here and let you go through the whole process and you get to training and then you get to your first day on the job and you do well and I'm giving you all the acclimates and like, yeah, you're doing a good job, we love to keep you on the team, and then I fire you next week. It doesn't matter when I fired you. I told you, right? It doesn't matter. It wasn't that significant to me. It doesn't matter. I still let you know that you're fired.
This is equivalent of somebody saying, oh, this wasn't that deep to me. These are like those, if you were a doctor and somebody just said, hey, I fell off a 2-story building and I landed on my head and my back and something feels off. This is the equivalent of that doctor looking at that person and saying, I don't see no blood, so you must be fine.
Internal bleeding is a thing.
I don't see no blood. I don't see no scratches or bruises anywhere. You must be okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then that person dies and you're like, oh, it couldn't have been from the fall. It's like, bro. Oh my gosh.
And forth for a couple days and it takes me a while. Like I've known women where maybe we talk every few days, maybe every week. And then I know some where we talk every single day. Like it varies. But to think that, like, if she would have stopped responding to me, and it's not like I've never had just conversations just end out the blue. And I never I was just like, okay, I get it. They not feeling me. That's how simple that is for me. I'm like, your actions speak louder than your words. If we talk for a couple of days and you just stop talking to me, I'm like, all right, she don't like me like that. Cool, move on. So that's also like, I also understand. I've been on the other side of things. So I guess I'm not as sensitive, but I guess I just didn't feel as much as she did. But that huge disconnect, if I think she feels anywhere similar to how I feel at that moment, I don't think that she's like losing sleep and like wondering why I'm not responding to her and like all this stuff is going on in her head, because I didn't think it was possible for her to feel that much that soon, and that I left such a great impression when I was just being completely like normal. Like I didn't do anything out of the ordinary, like in our conversation or in the time that we spoke. So that's why it took me a while, because I'm like, it's like she's all right. Like she's like, I don't think she's losing sleep over it.
I mean, you don't know what she's
I don't know.
thinking.
I don't know.
Right. But the only thing that you can do as a man is communicate. So do you feel like you had to match with her?
I think it's for me it's like a let's see if this works out compared to
Can we ever just say yes or no?
No. Yes.
Did you feel like you were forced to match?
Yes. No.
Yes or no? Did you
Maybe
feel like
so.
this was a match of your free will? Yes or no? That's all he's asking.
her let's make this work out. Is how I see the dynamic of like our two perceptions of everything. That's why she was so far ahead of me in the way she felt, because she was already planning a future with me, as opposed to like me, who's like, well, let me just see if there's anything here. And that's like the huge disconnect. And that's also why I didn't feel as like, oh, let me let her know now. Let me not waste her time, because I didn't think I was wasting her time. Like I didn't think she was waiting for my messages like that.
If you
But
knew,
you was wrong.
Yeah, I'm not
thinking
saying
that
I
way.
wasn't wrong. I'm
Because
saying
I'm you keep saying that, oh, I didn't think. We're not kids. This
I
is
was
what
wrong.
kids this is what boys do. You know, when they are assuming all these things, when the reality is you should have just spoke to her. You should have just communicated. That's
To
it.
the source.
End of.
Could
You know,
you-
like,
could you
and I feel
imagine?
like you wasn't.
talk to the source. That's all that it is, and it's like, that brother, that just blew me. If you felt like she was already moving too fast and you wasn't on that type of timing or that pace anyway from the get-go, why did you initiate all those conversations about kids, marriage, this and the third? Like, it doesn't make sense.
It's like I said in that other video. This is the equivalent of somebody who is so comfortable doing this to people that they don't understand the psychology behind it. It's just normal to them.
Yeah.
Attracted to her. She wasn't the woman that you wanted to try and put effort
she
for
wanted the first girl.
after a while. Maybe you did for the first 4 days, but then afterwards you thought, you know what, it's not gonna
I don't
work.
think it's gonna work. But there were
So, but then you should have just been completely direct and just let
Yeah.
her know where it is, and then this wouldn't have, all of this wouldn't have happened.
No,
It's just
for
that
sure. For sure. If I would have just let her know in a timely manner, as soon as I was like, this isn't going to work out, then that's what would have happened. I don't know if she still would have reacted the same way.
No.
But still, like, there's still things about it. I'm just imagining if it was vice versa and I was acting so hurt over this, people would be like, this is the softest dude I've ever heard speak. You knew Shorty.
Yeah, the same dudes that are defending you would be the same dudes that will say that you're doing that. But the rest of the internet wouldn't call you soft for that, because at the end of the day, she wasted your time. She led you on. She had intentions that were not pure and still went along with it to entertain you. Nobody else on the internet would. Amen. Internet
If
soldiers.
she would have did this to you, this platform here, and I can say that for a fact,
She would have got cooked.
because we have always been down the middle. And to the people that try to deny it, we have more. If anything, if a man tries to come in here and deny it, then you're going to look really stupid, because we have more videos flaming females than we have flaming men. And it's not because we choose it. It's just, that's just how the videos go. But we go down the middle. We flame women. We flame men. If she would have if this would have been her saying this exact same thing, this dialogue would not have changed.
Nope.
The same way we're cooking you is the same way we would have cooked her. If anything, I'll be saying some speech of, I understand why men go red pill if she would have did this. That's the thing you're not getting. I don't know why why are you trying to compete with the opposite sex in how we handle the guilt or the responsibility or the accountability. That's so weird. You're a man, she's a woman. If she did this, she's wrong. If you did this, if you did this, you're wrong.
Yeah.
It don't matter.
For 4 days, and there would be zero sympathy for me if I acted like, if the roles were reversed and I acted like I felt so much for her while she didn't feel as much for me. There would be zero sympathy for me. People are completely disregarding the time.
The Unmatched Men from Pop the Balloon 23 is the perfect example of when the females do something horrible to the men got defended.
Yep.
The Unmatched Women of Pop the Balloon episode 23 is the perfect example of when the men get done unjustly by the females, the internet called them out. This right here, you're telling this to a guy that just did this. 6 months ago, he just called them out. Cut it out. Cut it out.
Timeline and how quickly she felt so much for me. And it's so apparent because the way she detailed that coffee date to say things. Well, first of all, she called me a liar and manipulator, which is crazy to me. And are just pure trigger words to like kind of paint me as a villain. And I'm still not saying that I didn't do anything wrong. I should have and could have.
She called me a liar and manipulator, which is crazy to me. I'm not denying the claim of, I'm not denying the actions that I did, but to put the labels on it is crazy. Yeah, I lied and manipulated, but that don't make me a liar or manipulator though.
Yeah, I feel like had you ended this scenario sooner, she wouldn't have had time to fantasize your relationship to that extent, if that's what you saying.
That part.
Responded to her in a more timely manner. But at the same time, she was so far ahead in that relationship than me. Mind you, like, I never kissed this girl. I never like attempted to do anything with her physical. She said we talked about children's names. That's not true. She said somebody's name, like somebody she knows in her life's name. That was the same name that I was like, is a name that I've always imagined, like naming one of my sons. And she said that, and I was like, oh yeah, that's a cool name. That's like what I consider naming. Like if I have a son, that's what I would consider naming him. She said we talked about the names of our children. She was so far ahead in a completely different world than me. And I guess going forward, I should assume that any woman I talk to is completely in love with me off of the first date.
She liked you, bro. She liked you. That's all
okay,
it was. If she liked you and she's acting that way, then just know that she's for real. It's real. Like this is what it is.
She really likes me.
It's not a game to her, but to you, in your head, you did not care about it the same way that she did. And I'm not saying that you have. Yeah, I'm not saying you have to be all in for it. You know, but you just need to make sure that she's aware of what's going on, because that comes across as you're leading her on.
Right. I get it, but I think people are being far too critical, as if like we dated for like months and months and we planned a trip, and like they act like I planned a trip with her and then stopped talking to her when the trip was coming up.
I think people are being critical because you came on a show that people are actually finding real love. That's
for sure. And
some of you people that come on the show are forgetting the whole point of coming on this platform.
That doesn't mean you can completely get out of your head though and just assume the person you met.
If I go on a show called Pop the Balloon and Find Love, it is safe to assume that my objective is to find love. Meaning that my objective to find love is most likely going to be in relation to the other contestants who are on the show, because I'm expecting people to be genuine human beings that came on Pop the Balloon and Find Love, or Find Love. So if I come expecting love because the show is about finding love, I'm going to assume that the other contestants on the show are there expecting to find love because the show is called Find Love. So I'm expecting love. I assume you're expecting love. So it's not out of my nature that I match with somebody who is saying they're expecting love as well, and we both sync together saying that love is the objective. Love is the objective. We match. We should try this love thing. I'm not going out of my mind expecting or projecting or believing that your feelings towards me are what I'm feeling towards you. Because we both came to do one thing. We both came to find love. So if you match with me, I have the right to assume that you match with me because we're both trying to find love. That's the whole point of us being here.
Mm-hmm.
That is the whole point of us being here.
Yeah, I don't think she was in love with him. I do believe that she really did like him, but I don't think
it's
she was
her
in love with him.
match.
Yeah, yeah,
She thought her match was actually her match.
yeah.
Like that's ultimately how we saw. I'm not
No,
going.
you're
Yeah,
good.
but that's what he's not getting. She didn't overinflate or overproject. She thought her match was her match.
And I just feel like in that moment, if she was lying all that time in the video,
Why didn't you stop her?
You kind of let her just get away with it. Then you kind of let her you let her get away with it, and now you're upset that this is what the public believes. And now when it's time to defend yourself,
You should have called it out.
You should have called it out.
Match with is the person you're going to end up with forever, unless they're reciprocating that same energy. Like,
Right. It doesn't mean that, but it's like you need to try. She tried. You didn't.
I literally gave it a shot. We went on the date. I talked to her, and then I was like, all right, this probably isn't going to work out.
Oh,
But that's not
One
trying
date is
because
crazy.
you said yeah, you gave her a shot, you talked to her, and then you ghosted. That's not you trying. That's you basically being like, you know what, let me just play a game, and then when I'm done, I'm out.
But it's
I'm
not
out when I want to be, and I'm not going to tell her exactly what it is. I'm done. I'm out. That's what it is.
I did tell her what it was. I just didn't do it as quickly as people prefer.
Right.
Or
That's
as
but
people-
if
as
she
I
didn't
should.
reach out to you, you would have never told her.
I swear to you on my life that I
Don't do
would have
that.
told her why we weren't going to work.
It took you 7 days to even remember to respond to a message.
Yeah.
We don't believe you. We don't believe you. You took all the way up till Monday to respond to a message on Wednesday. We don't believe you, family.
Work out regardless of if she reached out to me. And I don't mean a month would have gone by or something like that. Even though it took me 7 days, I still responded to her after. So that's the point that you're missing as like me like truly ghosting her or never would have talked to her.
You just said
again.
it took you 7 days. Devin, brother. Brother. It's not looking good.
Because it took
You
me
said-
a while.
Right, exactly. Because this is evidence that we are seeing and hearing here. You know,
For
like
sure, no, it took 7 days.
there's no excuses for you not to speak to somebody for that long, you know, and then say, oh, I was busy. You know, I have a lot going on. Me, I'm a very busy man.
I bet.
I don't use that as an excuse.
No, for sure. But I bet the people that you respond to are people involved in your life that you care about and want to maintain relationships with.
That's why I asked you at the beginning. I said, why did you choose to match with her? And I feel like if you was having second thoughts, you should have never matched with her.
Yeah.
No, you're right. I could have popped, but it was just like I'm willing to see like if this works out. I'm like, she likes me. Let me see if something develops from this.
Yeah.
It's not that I didn't like her. It's just like I like her enough. Like I'm like she's cute. She seems sweet. She be singing. These are all like this is cool. Let me see what's up. But then as I learned more about her, and there was like the timeline between like having kids and everything. Everyone's saying I should have just let her know like that I wasn't interested, but I didn't do that. I let her know why I didn't think we would work out, which I feel like is better than just being like, hey, this isn't going to work out. Like, let me give you actual reasons why I don't think this will. And it just took me too long. It took me longer than it should.
You don't need to be dating.
Telling somebody a list of reasons why you think the relationship will fail is not the equivalent of telling somebody that I don't want to continue pursuing. It's not the same. If I say your snoring keeps me up at night and that's going to be a problem, that doesn't mean that all that tells me is that you've addressed a problem and you give me the opportunity to fix it so I can go get some nose strips to stop snoring. It's not the equivalent to, hey, I don't want to be with you no more.
Or I don't want to try to pursue dating you anymore.
It's not the same.
It's not.
You're just pulling out a problem, but problems can be fixed.
Exactly. On both sides.
So if you tell somebody problems, they're not thinking, oh, this person brought up problems, but they didn't say it's over.
Yeah.
This person brought up problems. The immediate reaction people are going to have is, okay, Time for me to start fixing the problems so we can work. It's not going to be, man, this person bring up A, B, C as issues. It's over. That's not what people think. When people address problems in relationships, they're doing that normally because they want their partner to fix the issue. They don't do that to say, this is why we're not working. They'll just say, this isn't working.
I'm very intentional with relationships that I want to thrive and grow. Very much so. You can ask my friends. You can ask girls that I've dated. If I want you like that, you will feel that. You'll get the reassurance, your emotions, physically.
A girl you just dated just got on the internet. Y'all just had this conversation, and now we're watching the backlash of a girl you just dated. Even though you're not going to consider it dating because it didn't last months and months on end, it's still dating, brother.
All that you'll feel safe, 100%. But I'm being dragged.
You have to be all for that woman.
Way.
Okay, I mean I understand that. We are saying that it's okay for you not to be attracted or feel,
just don't waste her time. That's it.
It's fine. It was like, this won't work.
Right. Okay. But the main point is that she did not know what's going on.
For sure.
You left her in the dark. That's basically the whole story here. Now I want to ask you, Devin, what is your dream woman?
What do you want me to describe? Like how she is, what she looks like?
Yeah, everything.
I mean, realistically, I don't have like a super preference with what she is.
Devin, it's like pulling teeth with you. Nah, it's like pulling teeth with you, bro.
I'm sorry, BM. I can't do it.
That is crazy work.
I'm sorry. I can't do it, yo. I've had enough. All right, y'all. I'm not about to sit here and listen to 10 more minutes of this teeth pulling cap-a-lot bullcrap. Like, it's just like, we're not going to get anywhere.
Like, she can be black. She can not be black. Like, I don't have like an extreme preference. Like, I'll date anyone I find attractive, for the most part. But it really just comes down to like the energy that she's giving me, and if it's in line, like I would just say like I like a woman that's super wholesome, feminine, wholesome. Like, she's intelligent to the point where like she kind of already knows like what to be doing. Like, she's not always coming to me asking me about every single thing. There's an independence, but there's also like, she'll allow me to like gently lead her. Just things like that. And I do like, I don't know if I just said that I like them taller because I want my kids to be tall. And people are giving me crap because I was saying like, as far as genetics go, like if I'm picking how my kids are more black than anything. I want them to be as fast as possible and athletic as possible just to make life easier for them. My kids are going to be competitive and play sports. So yeah, if like I'm picking that, it's like, that's kind of what I lean towards. But I don't have like an extreme preference physically other than you have to look good, but there's a lot of ways to look good.
Right. If you was given a chance to go back, what would you have done differently?
I would have popped my balloon.
And this is what I was saying.
For sure.
I was saying this. There was a lot of talking here, and I just feel like this could have been avoided by you just saying I should have just popped.
I wouldn't have given it a shot. I should have been realistic with myself and be like,
that's what when I'm saying to people that come on the show, I'm saying that, listen, you know what you want. As a man, when you're a man, you know exactly what you want.
As soon as you see it.
As soon as you see it. Attraction is a big thing for a lot of men.
It's super important for me. Like,
right. So that's what I was saying. When she first came out, when you saw how she is, if you knew that 100% that's not your type, you should have popped. That you even giving it a go is like, oh, let me do it just to do it. But I know for sure that she's not somebody that I'm.
Yeah, but you know what? Like, she walked out, and what kind of screwed me up was, you were like, if you're not attracted to them, pop your balloon. Don't hold your balloon and pop it later. Is what was kind of like one of the things said like prior to the show. So when I didn't pop my balloon at first, I felt stuck with it because I was like.
We blaming everybody but ourselves at this point.
What?
We blaming everybody but ourselves. The reason why he says that is yes, you're supposed to pop the balloon if the person is not the attraction that you want. But everything is a double-edged sword. Just because somebody's not the physical attraction that you like doesn't mean that this person is not going to match in things that you do like. So that's why I say I'm always going to be an advocate on this channel of I don't believe you should only, I don't believe first impression or first physical appearance of a person defines whether or not this person is worthy of you dating or not. Mm-hmm. Because I know that as a married person, I know that character and everything else is way more important. Alex is just as beautiful as she was when I met her as she is now, but that's not why I'm super attracted to Alex. Alex has so many qualities and characteristic qualities that I respect so much. I would be dishonored to have somebody that doesn't match those qualities. That's why Alex is such a great wife to me. Yeah, because it's real. No, here it's real talk. Because let's break it down, bro. I could lose my sight right now, but I know I have a genuine person. I can lose my hearing right now, but I know I have a genuine person. I can lose my limbs right now, but I know I have a genuine person. That's the point that I'm making. Some of y'all put this attraction thing so high, but people change, bruh. Y'all, oh, I want a slim, thick, 5'5", thick in the thighs, like Dr. Umar say. But then the girl has kids and she not 5'5", thick in the thighs no more. She thick everywhere. Man, you're not like how you was. I fell out of love. It's because y'all operating in lust. You're not operating off of y'all not operating on any of the things that actually matter. Mm-hmm. The body will change. You may be a 6'4" stallion with freaking 8-pack abs, but you're not gonna have that your whole life. You get a lot of y'all are 1 year of a economic crash from being the same thing that y'all go online and make fun of, and that's facts. So it's just like y'all go on here and y'all do this. This is why, as a married person, I'm gonna say my stance on what relationships should be is gonna be right because I'm living proof of it that it's right. But a lot of y'all that be sitting there trying to argue with us and talk about married people like, oh, and talk about our standard like we're just wrong or we're just chatting or we don't understand how this goes. I notice a lot of y'all be single people that be trying to tell me I'm wrong about stuff. Show me your evidence that what you're doing is working 100%.
Like, well, I don't want to say I'm not, like, she's not really my type, or I don't think.
No, you can. No, you can.
That's what I'm saying.
I said, what I said to you guys was I said, if you're not feeling the woman, pop your balloon. That's what I said. Right. So that means you can pop it. You can pop it anytime, you know. For sure. But the longer you hold on to it for, the
more I feel like I have to keep it.
The longer you hold on to it, people are gonna be like, why didn't you just pop it straight away? That's what I'm saying.
And that's what I was thinking about.
So too much stuff was going on in your head. You're like, what do I do? So do this, or do this.
Something crazy, and I'm just like, and I'm like, I can't say I'm not really attracted to her. Also, what threw me off too is the people that popped like right when she walked out, and they said they didn't like her hair, and I was like, to me, I was like, y'all sound dumb. I was like, that's crazy. Like over that, whether that was the reason or not, to me, it just sounded stupid. So I was like, I'm not popping my balloon because of that, because that's dumb. So I kind of held it. And then, yeah, I felt.
So you held it. You matched with her because you were too busy looking down on people for their reasons for popping. So it was an ego thing.
Yeah, you were better off popping and going through the small backlash of, oh, why did he wait till the last minute to pop? Versus
you doing all this damage.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, it got to the point where I was like, well, I can't say I'm not really feeling her, like the attraction wise, because I've held it too long. And then even in my head, I was thinking about the gym too. I was like, I can ask her, like, does she work out like that? But then I was like, she just said something about doing jungle gyms or zip lining through the forest or something. So I was like, she just mentioned something physical. So I was like, can't pop for that. And then I was like, well, she is kind of short. And I was like, but I've held my balloon too long. Can't pop for that. To the point where I ended up at the end and I stepped up and I was just like, I can't even think right now. And then it just kind of happened.
Okay.
Yeah, back at the episode,
at least you apologized. You know, you apologized.
For sure, I am sorry. I didn't like the last thing I ever want to do is one, make a woman cry. And that's why it is hard to be like, hey, things aren't going to work out because you just know it's going to hurt them, which is fine. It's not that I've never told a girl like, hey, this isn't going to work out. And then like, I'm sorry. But like I said, there was just that disconnect in how much I thought she could even care that quickly. So that's why I just wasn't like, oh, let me let her know now because I know she's going to be thinking about it. It was never that. I'm like literally thinking she's just living her life day to day, doing whatever she normally does. And she's probably like, oh, Devin didn't respond to me yet today.
Let me ask you a question, Devin. Do you feel like you are an overthinker, but you don't know how to express the things that you're thinking about?
Nah, I would say typically as an overthinker, no, because I don't.
So then why are you making so many overthinking excuses? You're the most, this is like listening to somebody say like, oh yeah, man, I just don't like the color blue, man, so I had to pop on her because she was wearing the color blue. So do you feel like colors matter to you? Nah, colors really don't matter.
I think he probably does have. This is just me assuming, but I'm an overthinker myself, and I have a hard time communicating and like being direct with certain things or making decisions because my mind is constantly trying to split up all these different scenarios and all these different end results, and then it's hard for me to pick one because each result is going to affect me in a different way. It's okay. Hey, that's just what it is. But hey.
I don't even think about things too much because typically things are really black and white for me. The only thing that makes this unblack and white is the platform, and it's almost like something that I've like the distance thing. Like most of the part, you ask me a question, it's like yes, no, or I just don't care.
No.
So like this is like a little different. And then as I know I'm going to end things with her, I am considering that people are going to want to know why, because this isn't just two people that met. People are going to be asking. If I was just like, I'm not interested in her, and she came on the catch up and said, that's what he said, people would have been asking her what happened, and they would have been asking me what happened. So I'm like trying to figure out, like, are these legitimate reasons?
You're so worried about everybody else's opinion that you didn't care about the opinion of the person you were directly involved with. You were so worried about looking good in the public opinion that you did all this damage to her, and now she went to the internet like she was supposed to, now you're in the hot seat, when in reality you should have just did the right thing. If you weren't seriously invested in her, pop.
Say this to yourself.
This ultimately all comes down to, if you weren't seriously invested in her, you should have popped.
Yeah,
that's all. This whole video can be summed up to that.
Reasons for us not to work out. And then, so I am overthinking in a sense about the way I want to go about things, like ending things, just because I know there's a whole audience, attached to this, as opposed to just a girl where I'm just like, hey, things are going to work out. I will never see you again and you'll be just fine.
Devin. I asked you if you're an overthinker. On the show, you said that you was overthinking.
I was. That's a crazy environment to be in. It's almost anxiety.
So maybe you do overthink sometimes, but you just don't realize it.
Okay, maybe sometimes I was overthinking about this.
I feel like a lot of the times you do things and you don't realize this is what's happening, but people can see it. Like, like the ghosting thing, right? It's like, I feel like you didn't realize that was an issue at the time, but then when people see it, you're like, oh wait. Maybe
I can see. I thought it was. Trust me. Like I'm talking to my boy, and I'm like, I still haven't responded. I need to respond. I'm saying it. Like I know I need to. But the crazy part about all this is I'm actually one of the most blunt people in real life. I'm literally the most.
Is this not real life?
Go ahead, my dear. I'm sorry I interrupted you.
No, I was just asking, is this not real life? Like,
I guess not. I guess not.
Blunt, transparent people possible. I literally will tell somebody, like, to their face, like, I don't want to have this conversation anymore. Like, I'm pretty straightforward typically. This is just a completely different dynamic than like.
So do you think it's because of the show that maybe played a part to why you acted this way? Like,
It's
you
the
feel like
biggest part.
You think it was the pressure for the show?
In a sense, because I felt like I had to, like, realistically, if I wanted to stop talking to a girl that quickly, like, I feel like I could literally be like, hey, I don't think this is going to work out. Best of luck. Or like, you're a good person. Like, I think you got a good personality, blah, 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 blah. You know, good luck with everything. If she told me she's going for a job interview or something. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'll be like, oh, still good luck with that job interview. And it'll be like, oh, I'm so intentional. No, I'm just a nice person in that sense. But, yeah, and that would be enough for me. But I knew that wouldn't be enough for everybody because I knew there was a lot more people involved than just me and her. So I'm like, how do I want to go about this? What reasons, like, you know, legitimate reasons do I want to give her? And like, will she be okay with that? And I am overthinking in that sense, but I'm also trying to do it with a bunch of like grace and like softness as opposed to just being like, goodbye.
Yeah. Like, all of this could have been avoided by you just saying, I'm just not interested. I'm going to bring Kyla back on the show. Comment down below if you want me to bring her back on Pop the Balloon or to give her her own It's a Match.
I'll give her a
Devin,
chance.
yeah, Devin, yeah, you're done.
I don't get to come back.
You're done.
No.
It's
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
But I do wish you the best, and I do hope that you do find love one day. And if you do, you know, maybe we might have you back on the podcast. You know, show the people that you know you are.
Oh, that would be great. That would be great.
Guy.
People just think I'm never gonna find love now, and it's hilarious.
Get off my screen. All right, y'all. I'm out.
Bye.
Alex, do you feel like your time was wasted?
Watching this, yes.
All right, y'all. Peace.